know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
It's over 9,000!
Good morning, Vietnam!
What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there? Tapping on your screen. Boom, boom, boom. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Happy Friday the 13th. Wow. Okay, guys, we got to be careful today. Ooh. I'm never a fan of Friday the 13th. I am not a superstitious person, but there is one superstition that always freaks me out, and that's Friday the 13th. Don't ask me why, but freaky stuff happens on Friday the 13th always. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if we're going to have a national event, if we're going to actually find out who's president, will a whole crap load of people agree with me today? I have no clue what's going to happen. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful. What's going on, everybody? I don't have my one screen ready. It takes, man, I swear, when I start my show, there's so much I got to make sure is stream yard. I got to make sure is ready to go, and it takes a moment. Had to reboot the computer. There we go. There we go. There we go. Sweet. Okay. Good there. Good there. Good there. Let me go ahead and pop out that lovely chat so I don't have to get whiplash trying to read it. There we go. Hello, chat. What's going on, everybody? Oh, welcome to a Friday the 13th edition on this 11/13/2020 at 1:12, almost 1:13 p.m. Guys of LDG Pixels, here to help, here to be available. If anybody has any tech issues or needs anything done, I'm here. I'll be here for about the next hour, in which then I will shut down, see who else is streaming. And when I see a good opportunity, I will be starting up a Pixelate stream on the Pixelate channel, and we'll be doing a waiting room, waiting, having some fun, kicking our feet up, waiting for someone cooler to stream. It's Friday, guys, so Friday, the waiting room's usually pimping. A lot of people waiting for people to stream. A lot of people looking for a place to go where other streams are promoted, streams worthy of being promoted, entertaining shows hosted by entertaining guests, which kind of leads us to our topic this morning. I am not going to be talking about anything tech related, more than something that's a little bit more socially related. Something that I've had a brush with recently, not only recently, but it isn't my first time. I've been kind of brushed with this a couple times, actually, regarding my whole since the 7-8 months of me being on YouTube. Some things have come to light, and seeing how behind the scenes of a channel is a lot different than the other side of the screen, the side you're on. And I've had enough of it. I'm done. And I've always been like this ever since I was growing up. I never stood up for corruption. I've always fought it. I've never been one to kick a tree more than once or twice. A couple times I've kicked a tree a couple times more than I should have. But I'm usually really quick at knowing when I'm kicking a tree, and you don't know you're kicking a tree until your foot starts to hurt. The problem with that is sometimes people like pain, and they don't recognize it as pain until sometimes it's either too late, or when someone else shows you that it hurts. The only thing worse than being a victim of this is trying to fight it, because it's kind of like a double-edged blade. Today, being a warrior, a justice warrior, especially a justice warrior, because they're getting a real bad name. They're not only whether it is deserved, because the person who is warring for that justice is completely out of their mind and on the wrong basis, but could be on the right basis, could be trying to do the right thing, but they're just perceived differently, or they're not quote unquote doing it right, and they need adjustment, which leaves the very few who are actually succeeding and creating justice for those who need it. Now, it's like I say about cookies and viruses and lobbyists and all the whole 9 yards. There's nothing wrong with a cookie. A cookie's actually supposed to be a good thing, but it got a bad name because everybody was using them wrong and using them for bad reasons. Same things with lobbyists, same things with viruses, and same thing with justice warriors. The people who are doing it corruptly are giving the people who are trying to do it the right way a very bad name and a very difficult path forward. That needs to stop. One of the things that's not helping them is the platforms we're on. Especially now, the latest updates to YouTube, while some of them have been good, we found out last night that YouTube going down was most likely due to a huge patch update to the infrastructure of YouTube, in which they made some noticeable changes. You notice now when you mouse over a thumbnail that it keeps repeating the video instead of just playing it once and stopping, so you have to take your mouse off and put it back on. Yes, that was an update recently on YouTube. But you've also seen bad things like more censorship on our chats. Our chats are omitting links. Our chats are omitting and censoring our speech, something they have no right to do. They can do it on their own channel. They have the right to do it, but that's not the way it should be, meaning they don't have the right to do it. If you don't understand what I mean, then listen some more and maybe I'll clarify. If you advertise as a public forum, or you hide behind the protections that are made for a public forum, then in fact you are trying to be a public forum. In that case, you cannot censor. You have no right to censor speech. You give people channels. You give people the tools to control their channels. I should say what I should be the one who says, okay, there is a bottom line between what I'm going to allow in the chat, but then you also give the people viewing to allow what comes through their chat. It's not my chat. That chat you're seeing, that's not my chat. I might be the administrator of the chat, but it's not my chat. When that chat hits your screen and hits your browser, that becomes your chat. And if you want to see something, so be it. If you don't want to see something, so be it. You should be given the tools to be able to control what comes through your screen. That's how clients, that's how browsers work. This is why a lot of websites can't do a lot of things they want to do. And not only that, but they try to fake it. But overall, they don't have the right to do jack shite once their code hits your computer. Your browser is your browser. This is why you go to those websites that block the screen that say you have to subscribe for $2 or whatever, or you have to take off your blocking tool. No, there's an easy way to get rid of that because you control the code that comes through your computer to your browser. Now, they don't advertise that. A lot of people don't know how to get past those little pop-up splash screens, and they count on that. So they throw that on there. You try to go to New York Times and they say, oh, nope, you got to have ad blocker off. No, my ad blocker protects me. If you don't want ad blocker affecting your website, it's your fault that it's affecting it. You should not, ad blocker should not stop a website. If ad blocker stops a website from showing you an ad, it's because they're freaking lazy and they're not doing the right job. Okay. That's why ad blocker is so effective, is because these websites that are doing these websites are not controlling their code correctly. They're being lazy about it, and they're betting on the fact that you don't know what you can do and what your rights are, and they get away with this stuff. It's about time that stops. Real quick to the chat, guys, before I keep going on here. I see 9 people are watching. Thank you so much. Do appreciate. If you haven't already, I hate saying this. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe, like, dislike, whatever. It doesn't matter. Remember, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. They're both a like in my book. When I count my likes, I count them together. Like right now, I got, 6 up and 1 down. So I got 7 likes. 7 people like me. Whether it's up or down, doesn't matter. A like is a like. A dislike is a like. It's a like of the diskind. So no problem there. Thank you very much. And if that's Elihu, and here's another one, 8 likes now. Thank you so much, guys. To the chat real quick. Elihu was first with some eyeballs, a telescope for aliens, looking for aliens and mice. Mice? Is that mice or is that asteroids? I don't know. It looks like a mouse. I don't know why they do these YouTube changes the emoticons to be like real small and dinky, and you can barely make them out. When I type them in, they come in big, and then when I refresh, they go back to small. Makes no sense. Bees Nest next saying, blame it on my ad, baby. Rock and roll. Thompson, Flash Thompson, what's going on, Chief? Hey, man, I tried throwing you in. I don't know if you heard. I plugged you, man, last night. If you caught me on the Weekly Rumble, we had a blast, guys. I had lots of fun. I tied with Poe last night. Almost pulled it. So the first time I was on the Weekly Rumble, I lost by 1 question. Last night, me and Poe took it to the end. I came from behind and got tied for first place, only to lose on the last spinning wheel. And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I believe it was the host's son. Yeah, that's not fixed. At the last bit. So me and Poe took it to the end. We tied in second place overall. But he always likes to throw somebody else's name in there, Flash Thompson, and I was voting for you, man. I was like, put Flash on there, my friend. Next time, though, okay? God, coffee. See here. Bees Nest says, my code piece is made of Beskar armor. My cod piece is made of Beskar armor. Okay, rock and roll. And he's laughing. Flash Thompson in the house, and This is the coolest intro ever and the longest. Now, I appreciate that, boss. Yeah, it is long. I know it's longer than most people's. I try to keep it entertaining for the time, but when I start my show, there's a lot of things I got to do. Um, so that's why I put the 5 minute timer on there. The 5 minute timer isn't because I'm busy more than that, is because YouTube is a pain in the butt with notifications. And I'm on a public platform where you have to have like 5 accounts to everything. So I got to post, copy and paste on Facebook, on Twitter, on all my Discords across the board. So, I mean, it's like 3 minutes by the time I finish even copying, pasting my link across the board. And then the 5 minutes kind of gives you the people enough time, if they were doing something, to see the bell, to click the bell, and to come on in, basically. I don't want people missing. If I start right away, I talk fast, I get right into it. People will come in and they already missed like 3 minutes of me talking. Now, this has been observed. So because that was observed, I made the executive decision to say, okay, 5 minute waiting. You guys got time to get your coffee, got time to do what you need to get, go to the bathroom, Jaloja, whatever you need to do, and then we'll get started. And as far as the intro, I think the intro is like 2 minutes long. I think it's 2 minutes long, 2.5 minutes long. That one is just my intro. I try to make it as cool, as entertaining to watch while you're chilling. They're watching it, and that gives me the last bit of time to make sure I'm good. Desk is good. Double check my messages, no one needs me, get my green screen going, put my makeup on, whatnot, etc., etc. I will be coming up with a new intro for LDG Pixels. So every 3 months, I want to try to change my intro to keep it fresh, to keep it new. You guys have noticing when you see the click timer, I've been changing the background a little bit. I've been keeping things fresh. I'm changing my background, trying to keep things rotating. Something for you to look at. Stimulate the brain, so you're just not getting the same old dull thing over and over and over again. But yes, I appreciate that, my friend. Coolest intro ever. I did my best, man, and more will be coming. Bees Nest says, Pixels, can you send the link in the description? Only way I can get in. Can you send the link in the description? Oh, in chat, you mean? Only way I can get in? Sure, but right now I'm not taking open panel at the moment, my friend. I expect you to chill with me over at Pixelate. But right now, I'm just going to be doing my morning rant and seeing what's going on, and maybe I'll open the panel. I don't know. But I was just expecting to just talk for about an hour, shut it down. I know we got Bird's birthday today. I don't know if he's streaming. What time? Oh, I know he's streaming, but I don't know what time he's streaming. Bird, if you're listening, can you poke that in the chat for me, please? Let us know when you're doing your birthday stream, buddy. I definitely want to be there. And then when that finishes, or however it goes, guys, it's Friday night. You have no job. You ain't got nothing to do. And we're going to have some fun tonight on Pixelate. I guarantee it. We're going to open up a waiting room, open panel, and everyone's welcome. Waiting for someone else cooler to stream. And then, again, being there when that person finishes. Flash Thompson says, can you tell me what The Matrix is? I never watched it. Sure, you never watched it. Sure, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that. On Robert Storm stream, there was a flat earth in the description. Okay, so that's another thing on YouTube. They've been updating the algorithm in order to make it work against us some more. So unlike Prometheus, where the algorithm is made to work for you, matter of fact, it is literally on your payroll. Today we live in this world where the algorithm works for them. Okay. And I think that's complete and utter crap. So one of the things the algorithm does, basically, it is writing down everything I say. It's writing down everything you guys are saying. It's cross-checking every username that's popping up in the chat. It's checking the screen for names right now. It is analyzing the hell out of my data stream right now. And if anything formats to another stream that's related to another stream, which is related to another stream, whatever, if any red flags pop up or even yellow flags, the algorithm automatically posts, and since YouTube owns whatchamacallit now, it'll post a wiki link across the board. And I'm tired of calling it YouTube, because it's not YouTube. YouTube is dead. It's been dead for years. It's just Google. Okay, it's just Google. That's all we're on right now. We're just on Google. They're taking over with the storm and doing things the way they want to do it, giving us about this much to be yay about and this much to be nay about. And the problem is we have a bunch of people who think that this much of yay is the best thing in the world and they're happy with it. They're not realizing that this much yay can turn into this much yay. We could be doing things that would blow your freaking mind if we just had somebody that came out with a proper freaking platform. End of story. Jedi Bill got 20,000 views on his cat stream. Do you realize he should be getting 20,000 views on every upload he does, every upload you do? Every single live stream. I should have double-digit people that are brand new, that don't even know me, that are looking at me for the first time and wondering if they should hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up or thumbs down. But no, because this doesn't work that way. And things are going to stay this way and get worse if nothing changes. That's the point of my channel. One of the points, the main point of my channel is to actually change this. Somebody who actually knows about programming, has experience with development teams, and been doing this for over 25 years, to say, I can bring change. I have a dream and I have a plan, and let's freaking get to it. Things could be so much better. See here. So yeah, so basically a lot of people have been getting hit with flat earth, and that's because it's either seeing pictures of a flat earth or hearing people talk about flat earth, or having people names pop up that are related to channels that do nothing but watch a lot of flat earth videos. If that happens, flat earth is a red flag topic and it will get posted down at the bottom. Now, since I've said flat earth about 10 times, let's see what happens. Now, this is what I tell people all the time. The algorithm doesn't look for fair use. It doesn't know how to. It only knows how to content match. It only knows the nature of the AI behind, and the algorithm is in fact AI. It only knows how to look at content matches, making connections. It doesn't know whether a connection is valid or invalid, fair, not fair. It doesn't care. It'd rather catch everything in a big net and just let the fish that complain out than to have a small net, because you're going to have more people who are breaking the rules get through and create a loophole. That's why you get content matched all the time on your videos when you upload, even if it's the smallest thing, a meme. Now memes are getting caught like crazy. Well, they were before, but even worse now. Don't be afraid. And I told someone this morning, they called me. Don't be afraid to use that dispute button. Okay. Do not. Very funny. Very funny. Don't be afraid to use your dispute when you get content match. Now, I understand a content match, that's how YouTube makes their money. That's how Google makes their money. Content matching is what turns non-monetized videos into monetized videos in order for them to charge more by the customer, the corporations that actually purchase through YouTube, that advertise with YouTube. They want content matches. That's why they'll content match you on a dime. Okay. Don't be afraid to dispute it. If something is fair use and you know it's fair use, dispute it as fair use. Don't be afraid. Now, that page where it asks you, says, why is it fair use? Make sure that you fill that out as best you can. Just don't mark it as fair use and say, because it's altered. Like actually write a freaking short little paragraph and explain why it's fair use. Make sure you say certain things like it is altered, or what is it? It's a meme. It is not unaltered content. It is not unaltered footage. Actually give a paragraph in there. Fill out the claim, and you'll be surprised how many content matches will disappear overnight. I've gotten to the point now where my opening video, literally. Okay, give me a second, because I got to check something real quick. Oh. So it's you. What, that can't click. What are you talking about? I have no clue what you're talking about, sir. The Earth. Oh, man. What's going on, man? Dude, I didn't know who that was at first. For a second, I thought that was Eli playing a joke. I'm here doing my spiel. I turn my head and I see Flat Earth Joe. And I'm like, nah, that's Eli just messing with me right now. But then you stayed in there. I'm like, okay, let me click the ... because it'll tell me your YouTube name. And then I saw Chris Knight and I started cracking up. Oh, crap.
Keep up what you're doing.
Take
Take
it
it
easy,
easy, man. I'll
brother.
talk to you later today.
Will do. All right.
All right, man. Bye.
All right, later. And of course, I didn't. Whoops, there we go. And of course, I didn't have that, so none of you heard him talking, except for the last bit. Damn it, he came in here and just had a joke about flat Earth. If I'm not tagged by now, let me see here. Refresh. Everybody, refresh. Give it a refresh. Am I tagged? No, not tagged. Amazing. Okay, cool. I thought it would have got tagged by now. Anywho, so that explains that. That's just the algorithm working against us. Content matching. Again, if you, it's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. Even now, our channel, if you're trying to type in certain words into the chat, they're getting completely omitted. And it's not even me that's omitting them. It's just YouTube omitting them overall. And it's a load of BS. Let's see here. We got, yeah, I watched it. It was funny. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. The link. Yep, gotcha. Philip Gaming in the house. What's going on, my friend? How you doing, boss? Philip Gaming saying good morning to LDG. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Darth Maul, been a while. How you doing, Darth? Saying good morning, LDG. What's your take on STD season 3 so far? Poop, and more poop. They have dug themselves into a hole so deep they can't even get out of it. The last episode was the only episode I was even looking forward to watching, with exception to the first episode, but that went away real quick. They pointed their head in the right direction with the latest episode, which I did a watch party yesterday on Pixelate. They pointed their head in the right direction, but they have yet to take a first step. There was a number of things that really aggravated me. The writing staff is doing way too much to imply something was done. And that's not what Star Trek is. Star Trek was specifically known for always, or most of the time, explaining the plot, explaining what they're doing in the plot. Not just having a magical BS device fix everything, leaving us wondering how the heck did that happen in the first place. Star Trek wasn't like that. There's one key mechanic in the storyline of Trek that they're leaving out, and this is what's pissing off a lot. Like, I hear a lot of people complaining about Star Trek Discovery, and this is the one thing I'm doing. The only thing I'm hearing about people who think Star Trek Discovery is good is the fact that it has special effects, that it looks like it's made like a movie. I'm not hearing anybody defend the plot. I'm not hearing one person defend the plot. I'm not hearing one person defend how everything makes sense. And the only people who are defending it that way are literally coming up with made up and implied reasoning behind what they're defending. If you're going to defend something, you need to defend what it is, what is on paper, what is on screen, not defending it because, oh, well, I think they did it this. No. That's your imagination. You don't Psycho. You don't commend Psycho because you thought she was getting stabbed. You commend it because how they made it look like she was getting stabbed, what they actually did, not what is the implied part. That's where you lead off. When you get to that implied part, which you leave it open to imagination, you stop right there. You don't go into, because that's your imagination. Everyone's imagination is different. You don't go and give credit to something to what that goes beyond to the point when you're saying, well, they did it this way and it looked like this, and then left it open for imagination. And now you stop right there. You just stop. And in Discovery, I'm hearing people saying, Well, because they couldn't beam in because it was shielded from radiation, but then the ship was hit by cosmic. I'm sorry. Oh God, solar mass ejection, which is radiation. And then they start explaining why it happened when none of that was on screen. They didn't explain any of it. And I got people coming up with stories why and defending it. Don't defend something if they didn't do it, say it, show it. I don't want to hear implied. Star Trek Discovery has been a real paste and glue special. It is filled with implications. It implies you have to imply a lot of stuff for that storyline to fit. Okay, some of it straight up. I mean, the fact that you have to even describe a solar mass ejection to a Starfleet officer that's 900 years in the future from anything we know is a joke. Okay, that's like trying to explain a rocket scientist, or I'm sorry, it's like trying to tell a scientist of today's standards what an atom is. Like, seriously, really? What gravity is? You don't know what a solar mass ejection is? Really? You had to spell it out? That's almost as funny as Picard spelling his last name at Starfleet Academy. We'll see how Star Trek goes, Discovery goes. I'm doing watch parties every Thursday. We're seeing how the story is developing. For right now, though, they're looking in the right direction. I just haven't seen them make a move yet. We're going to see in the next episode, because they're going to have like their first mission, official mission, and see how things go. I was very disappointed in a couple things. Starfleet looked like a colony. It didn't look like a fleet. I don't think I saw a fleet. There wasn't even a fleet. Like, if Starfleet all came up, like, even with all the ships destroyed, it's 150 years later, they could have had more than 12. They couldn't have had more than 12 ships in that bubble. And of course, all the ships are like big ships, like the Nog and the Voyager. I mean, it didn't look like there was any kind of anything going on there. Now, whether the ships are outside the bubble doing some stuff, whatever, yada yada, I have no clue. We'll see. I just wanted to see more ships. I wanted to see it be bigger than what it was. It seemed very small for being the headquarters of freaking Starfleet, which is supposed to be made up of, and then they said it was like, what, down to like 30 something species, and we only had like a dozen ships. Really? Seriously? Bees Nest says no, not in the description, not chat. No, in the description, not chat. Again, Bees Nest, I'm not really pulling anybody up. I pulled Chris because he was playing a little joke. Bees Nest says, okay, I'm in Pixelated. Put StreamYard link in the stream. It won't let me click it on chat. Yeah, give me a moment. Philip Gaming says Mandalorian and WWE SmackDown today. SmackDown Day? Mandalorian and WWE SmackDown Day. Well, what wasn't it Mandalorian last night, or is that today? Mandalorian already dropped. It's already out there today. Oh, that's right. You watch things a little late. And WWE, I haven't watched WWE in a long time. Flash says, I saw it once when I was 8, but I don't remember. Oh, okay. So the Matrix was basically about, okay, how do I explain the Matrix? The Matrix was perceived to be a end of the world apocalypse, cyber apocalypse, kind of like Terminator, where the machines took over the world and took over the entire world and trapped humans inside a digital virtualized environment, and treated them like batteries, and used their body heat as energy, which I think was a little bull, and I think was also a false telltale. I actually think I have some thoughts on that as well. That was actually just a lie. But anyway, trapped the entire human race. Everybody had their own alcove, plugged into virtual reality world where they were able to be reprogrammed and put into a make-believe world to satisfy them, to pacify them, while they strained the body heat from these people. Unfortunately, even the machines, the world that they created, had a flaw to it, and that flaw was the one, the creation of the one, in which the problem with this, their problem was keeping all the humans from waking up from this dream world. And by doing that, they had to figure out the psychology of the mind, and really get to know humans, and they did it for the most part, but they still had that 101% where somebody was born, or somebody had the ability to break the system. If they ever broke the system, then their batteries would wake up. If their batteries would wake up, the machines would be dying because they were their power source, basically. So it's basically a bunch of machines trying to control their own power source. And their power source being a whole bunch of humans inside of a virtual reality world. So that's basically what the Matrix is. Now we can get deep into it. I did a watch party of the Matrix, and I hope people see, because that movie was very thought out. The Wachowski sisters detailed that movie. The storyboard for that movie was very, everything in that movie, 99% of the stuff in that movie was completely thought out, was done on purpose. There was no loopholes like you're seeing on Discovery and some of our favorite shows. The Matrix was very thought out, and a lot of people I believe a lot of people did not catch a lot of the stuff in the Matrix, and all they did was see it for special effects and didn't actually pay attention to the storyline. And for the most part, I don't blame them, because they were so quaint and they were so precision with giving us hints that just went over our head. Like, for instance, who was the first? Here's a Matrix question for you guys. I'll answer this in a minute. Who was the first? And if you already know this answer because you've heard me say it, don't type it in the chat, guys. I want this to be anybody who hasn't heard me asking this. In the Matrix, who was the first program to hint that there were multiple versions of the Matrix? Who was the first one to do it? Put it in the chat. Let's see who gets it right. The first program to hint that there were multiple incarnations of the Matrix, multiple ones, blah, 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 blah. Who was the first one that did it? See if you guys were paying attention, because that is a very, most people think they know what the answer is. No. Mandalorian, WWE, SR, it once was. Cube Earth Theory. Oh, God. I don't understand why the girl stayed behind instead of coming back with Michael. Because they needed to take him off. This is the implied crap, because they didn't really spell this out. The guy who was on the ship that was dying because I got hit by a solar mass ejection that the ship couldn't for some reason. In the 24th century, we had ships that could fly in the corona of a star. But 700 years later, we don't have ships that can be millions of miles away and not be shielded from a coronal mass ejection. Makes no sense. The guy was dying. He had to come off of the ship. He didn't want to come off the ship because there was nobody left to fly the ship. So she took his place. She stayed on the ship. They grabbed him to save his life. And she's now the pilot of that seed ship. And I can't even confirm that for 100% if that entire story is correct. We know she's in the ship. We assumed it. We didn't really see him back on Enterprise. All you saw on Discovery, all you saw was Discovery just warp away, like going down like Mario Brothers down the bottom of a stage, and disappear. So I can't even confirm that with 100% accuracy if that's what actually happened. That's what I'm talking about. I'm implying that that's what happened. He didn't want to leave the ship, that we know. He said he didn't want to leave, and then that she would stay, and then that assumes that he agreed to that, and now he's being helped, and she's staying. Now, that could also mean that he still didn't want to leave, and he's going to die, and she's going to take over after he dies. Again, don't know. Maybe I missed a line of dialogue because they're very quaint on that. But that's what I'm going to answer on that one. Let's see here. It's hard to believe it's hard to believe, Darth Maul says, that far into the future, they wouldn't have at least treated the guy's family or him. Well, the family was dead. The family was already dead. That's what they said. There was no bringing back dead people, not unless you're 7 or 9, and it was within 72 hours, I think it was. I don't know. They said the family was dead. He was a little psycho, and he put his dead. Either he put his family in stasis, in which they died in stasis, or they were dead and he was crazy and put them in stasis because he was going crazy. Don't know, but the family was dead. Him, I would like to think they healed him. I think that's what happened. She stayed on so he could get off, and because there was only one person left on that ship. Darth Maul. I don't know why they didn't bring this. I don't know why they didn't bring the ship with them or something, because it was only like 8 days away. They could have teleported back, dropped off the whatchamacallit, teleported back again, and bring the ship home. And they could have done that within that episode. They could have figured out how to do it, but they didn't. Nor the aliens treatment either. It's 1,000 years in the future, for God's sakes. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, and those alien. Well, because that's what they linked. They linked to the problem with the aliens was like the Asgard in Stargate, where the answer to the problem lies in the past. So something happened for 1,000 years. What didn't make sense to me was that she said that Starfleet rung the bell on the initial cause that was going to do this 1,000 years ago, but they failed because they were still mining the planet or whatever and toxifying the surface. And these people got infected with something that they required DNA from over 1,000 years ago to fix the problem. Why didn't they have the technology to read the DNA and fix it manually, like kind of like brute force DNA? Have no clue. 900 years in the future. I'm seeing Discovery right now as 900 years in the future. Some of the technology is wham bam, but it's almost like some of their technology is back. Some of their technology is really high up there, but some of their technology, which doesn't make sense, is like 1,000 years old instead of 1,000 years behind instead of 1,000 years ahead. Makes no sense, man. It's driving me crazy. I mean, they knew they had a freaking view screen. Like, how do you know you have a view screen compared to a nano screen? Like that didn't make sense, for God's sakes. It's hard to believe that. See here, future. Darth Maul says, I may be wrong, but you sound optimistic for the season. No, I am completely, utterly dismayed. It's already been 5 episodes. It's already been 5 episodes, and I'm devastated about how Discovery's going right now. I can't take it. I'm going nuts. I really not. But I'll give credit where credit's due. Last week's episode was half decent. Like I said, they're looking in the right direction, but they haven't taken a step. A lot of people will say they took a step in the right direction. No, they did not take the step. They just looked. They're just glancing in the right direction. They didn't actually move yet. They're still 10 feet under, looking up right now. Okay? They haven't even tried to climb out of the hole that they dug themselves into. But I like to be fair, guys. Give credit where credit's due, and when it needs to be given. We're past the Dora the Explorer. Okay, we're done going to Earth. We're done following the map. We're done going to Trill. Done going to Starfleet. We're at Starfleet. Plot needs to happen. Figure out what's going on. What you're gonna do. Let's do it. Find out that one guy. And by the way, if you haven't paid attention to last week's episode, I seriously think that guy with the glasses did hint to her to blink her eyes, because he was blinking. The way they were showing his blinking just looked a little weird. Flash Thompson says, why do I feel the Matrix will be us? We already have virtual reality. Well, the Matrix will be awesome because pretty soon we'll have these technology, because remember, we're figuring out the brain and how memory works, and that your soul and your brain are 2 different things. Okay. Just like when I joke about artificial intelligence having consciousness is incorrect. Artificial intelligence is like a brain. Artificial consciousness is like your soul. What actually is you. Your tools, your brain breaks down, you're still you, but now you can't think. Now you're forgetting stuff. Now you're realizing all of a sudden that everything that you feel is more of a tool than your actual self. You are buried deep back in your brain, the one little piece of thing that turns that TV show on behind your eyeballs. That's you. Everything beyond that is your physical, your tools that you're using, being able to think, being able to logically deduce. That doesn't come from being alive. That comes from being alive and connected to an AI, which is your brain, a neural net. That's exactly what the computers work as well. But we will be able to plug in technology that instantly will be able to learn from everybody else's mistakes and learn from, like, so I'll have something, it'll record all my experiences, and then I can give that to, say, my son or my daughter or anybody who wants it. They'll plug in and then they will instantly learn everything that we have. They'll know Kung Fu. It's coming. It's absolutely coming. I don't see, from everything that I've learned so far, from everything that we're finding out so far, that is actually possible. Not only that, but as far as virtual reality is concerned, we know that when we're unconscious, we can come up with these dream worlds. Virtual reality, mental virtual reality, and a connected one as well, I believe is possible. I'm not seeing anything that says it is not possible. We're past the dark ages, guys, and there's no more witches and magic, and we're finding out that this universe is capable of doing some amazing things because it is made perfect. Let's see here. Oh, all right, so those of you who didn't know about the Matrix, I'll tell you the answer right now. The first artificial intelligence, the first program that hinted to the audience that the Matrix is in fact multiple versions, is not the architect, not the Merovingian, the Oracle. The Oracle was the first one to give a hint that there were multiple instances of the Matrix. Find it. It's in the movie. Matter of fact, it is in the first movie. The very first movie, she hinted to multiple Matrixes. All right, guys, what we got going on here? If anybody else needs to get a hold of me, what I was gonna say was my original topic. I kind of got stuck on the chat, guys, but that's cool. I always love talking to you guys. The chat. Original topic was going to be who's borrowing my speech, lol. Just kidding. My original topic was going to be about corrupt channels and people who talk about their community, like they're calling the community their community. And that's why I say your community. I didn't mean you guys. Okay? You guys are, you all, everyone watching, boys, girls, non-binary, the whole 9 yards, dogs, cats, living together, everything. You are the community. You're not my community. When I said your community, I meant I'm talking to people who tell me that it's their community. Like they own the people who watch them. And I have a huge issue with that. And I'm seeing more than one channel doing this right now. And it really aggravates the hell out of me. No, anti-trucker. I don't want to name drop anybody. This is the reason why I'm not naming dropping anybody. Anti-trucker, I wouldn't say is corrupt. He's doing what he has to do what he does. There's a difference. And there's also a difference between misunderstanding somebody and somebody who is maliciously doing something. And as far as you named anti-trucker, so I'll say it, I have nothing that is telling me anti-trucker is maliciously doing a thing. Okay. Me and him have our nerd fights. Me and him have our back and forth. Whoever's this and that doesn't matter. It's all for fun. Okay. But I am talking about channels who lie to their viewers' face. Because the cool thing about having a channel, even though this isn't my channel, this is the Tube's channel, this is Google's channel, I just live here. Okay. You have this facade that you can put up on your channel, whether it be connected to your website or how you come off when you run your channel, things that you think you say, or how you are perceived. You have somewhat control over that. And I'm seeing channels right now trying to make money, basically, And I'll say it. They're trying to make money. They're trying to benefit off of this. I am for community. I am for this and that. And they make sure they say things a certain way. But behind the scenes, excuse me, they are a whole nother animal. And a lot of the viewers, you don't see this. I didn't see it. I was fooled by a couple channels myself. And when I got into having my channel, I think one channel felt threatened by me. And another channel just straight up showed their colors over a simple little misunderstanding. But there are more channels out there. Some of them are doing blatantly. Some of the channels are doing what they're doing blatantly because they're using the algorithm, or they think that they're using the algorithm. So they have to do things certain ways, whatnot. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about channels out there who the channel host is maliciously manipulating us, lying to us, and thinking that they're entitled to everything they get. Let me tell you something. If any of you are listening, I'm not talking to you guys. I am talking to those corrupt individuals who know I'm talking about because you've dealt with me. And I've told you on DM straight to your face, you know who you are. Okay. You have the right to do whatever you want to do. Unlike anyone else here, anyone else online who want to justice warrior and tell you can't do it. I am the one person maybe that is telling you, you have the right to be a dick. You have a right to do whatever you want to do with your channel. Okay. So if you're cursing me out right now, think again. You have my permission to do whatever you want. You don't even need my permission. You have complete right to do what you want, because, and this is what I say about Project Prometheus. When you are exposed, people will decide whether to keep watching you or to go somewhere else. Okay. I want you to be you. I don't care who you are. I care that you are. Okay. Who you are is besides the point. Caring about who someone is makes no sense, because then you start stereotyping people and you start saying, well, if you're like this, then you're this. And if you're like this, I don't care who you are. I care that you are. Understand that. Okay. Seriously. You have the right to be anything you want on your channel, and I respect that. And if you want to be a dick and you want to be corrupt and you want to do things the wrong way, so be it. Have at it. Enjoy your life, my friend. But you won't see that crap around here, and I will expose on my channel, in my circle of influence, any threat to the community, not mine, the community. Okay, I know my channel is called LDG Pixels, right? And I know that I call you all my pixels. That's LDG Pixels. To tell you the truth, that was a pun by mistake. The reason why it's LDG Pixels is because I just didn't want to call the channel Pixels. God forbid somebody has that copyrighted. Well, the way around copyright is you throw your initials in front of it. So that way it's LDG Pixels. It's not Pixels, and nobody can stop me from saying LDG Pixels. But then I said, oh, well, you know what? Pixels is a great name for a community. If you watch me and you consider yourself a pixel, then you're part of my community, but I don't own you. I feel an honor that you guys come in every day, whenever I stream, or whenever you need help, you have someone to depend on, to come ask. You consider yourself a pixel. Okay. But I treat you as the community, because in these channels who think that they're entitled to what they think they're entitled to, and that they actually call you their community, they have another thing coming, because the community is bigger than their community. Okay. So I will never, ever consider anyone who watches my community. You're all the community. Enough said on that topic. It just really aggravates me. I wish you guys could see a lot of the stuff that I've had to deal with, a lot of the things specifically said to me And I mean, last week I thought I got cursed out by Mr. Rogers. Seriously, which is funny too, because I was going through that person's freaking videos and he actually had a video pretending to be Mr. Rogers. This guy cursed me out. Straight up hate DM'd me. Couldn't believe my eyes. Couldn't believe my eyes over a stupid misunderstanding that easily could have been sidetracked a million different better ways. And when that happened, I blew my top. I literally took date. That's why you guys didn't see me streaming as much, because I was literally calming the F down. If I would have gotten online after that incident that happened this week, I would have been saying some really nasty things. And the one thing that I learned is the one demon that is the worst. We all have demons. And the one demon that's the worst one to deal with is yourself. Me as a demon is the most critical and the most important to deal with, but yet the most hardest to deal with. Because when you get angry, sometimes your brain is telling you that everything you're thinking is right, everything that's coming into your mind is right, and you need to do something about it. And you realize later through experience growing up that that's not necessarily true. That's your brain just firing, and you need to calm down. You need to seriously think of what to do, how to move forward, and you need to convince yourself of a better way forward and what you should be doing. And I basically took a couple days doing that. I found a good way forward, and we're pushing along. So we're back. LDG's back. Yeah, LDG, our prophet, the creator of Prometheus, he will save us all. All right. Let me just say one thing about Prometheus, guys. Prometheus isn't the way I want it to be. Prometheus isn't going to be like what you see on these websites. It isn't. If Google wants the tube to be something, they do it. Not whether it should be or not should be. They create their own thing. Prometheus is what should be, period. None of my flavor is put into it. Okay? None of it. It's our program should be. And I don't mean should be in a metaphorical, moral sense, even though I kind of do, but I mean, when you're a programmer, you realize the power of computers. And right now we are beyond limited. And the parts that we're not limited on, the little bit of goodness that's coming from technology right now, especially right now, is being used against us. No matter what you think you have, it is only there because the people who gave it to you profit or benefit more from letting you do it. End of story. And all Prometheus is unlocking that, changing the rules, unlocking the internet, giving you control over your digital footprint in every sense of the term, monetizing everybody, allowing people to actually profit off being, not just what they're being or who they're being, but simply being. All right, guys, I want to appreciate everybody who's listened. I've been rambling now for an hour or so, been back and forth, been staying above 10. That is awesome. Love the likes. We got 12 likes and one diss, so 12 likes. Awesome. Thanks, 12 people. That is kick butt. Do appreciate you guys always. I'm going to shut down for now. If you just came in, you want to rewind and watch the show, it's always funnier at 1.5 playback speed. Had a good time here. It's 2:00. I'm going to shut it down, check my messages, see if anybody needs me. Let me make sure I give my information out, because if you do need me, guys, behind the scenes, I've had about 7 people in the last 48 hours get a hold of me. Took care of most of them. I think the only person left right now is Happy Dinosaur's Twitter sister. If she gets a hold of me, I'll help her out. Oh, and Orange Hat Reviews. I needed to finish him up as well. And I have some work for Chris Knight And Jedi Bill, we are gonna get your Terminator, man. I'm promise. I know you've been waiting weeks. You've been very patient. It's coming along very nicely. We're almost there, buddy. But I want to make sure that we get that last bit of polish and make sure it doesn't get you a content match. Okay, Jedi Bill is going to have a killer Terminator opening that he'll be able to use. There's all my information. Beaming in, hey, Quest and a Trek, what's going on, my friend? Just finished up, so you might want to rewatch my rant today about a few things, including like I was just finishing up on corrupt channels and channel hosts, and we talked about a few things. So you might want to rewind, listen at 1.5. See when Bird streaming. We got birthday stream for Bird. Happy birthday, Bird! Turning 21 today. Young bloke there. Hope he enjoys his day. We'll join him on his birthday stream, and then later on Pixelate. Guaranteed to be only slightly better than watching paint dry, waiting for someone else cooler to stream. It is Friday. You ain't got nothing to do. Some of you are locked in your house. We're going to have some blast, guys. Let's see here. If this is more of the same coming in the future from LDG, I'm liking it. Thank you, Jason. I'm trying, my friend. I'm trying. So y'all take care. Y'all have a wonderful day. Let's see who else is streaming. If you haven't joined me, by the way, there's my phone number, email, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Discord. My StreamYard. By the way, that StreamYard is 24/7 over here. So if you ever want to come talk to me one-on-one, that StreamYard link that you see is always active. Pop in. Even if I'm not streaming, it's an offline get-together where you never know who's going to be in that StreamYard. You pop in, maybe it's me and JJ or me and Anzo or me and Bird. It's always open. It's a place you can come, even if you want to watch a stream together so you can talk, because a lot of streams you want to have someone to chill with. Join that StreamYard. And if you wish to donate to the cause, there's my life support. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll catch you shortly later today, guys. Take care. LDG out.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.